Hello and welcome to Greeting Star.
So today we're going to be making a fall card.
Using a Cricut Cuttlebug.
So you need your A plate here, and then you're going to need to put down your stencil. The stencil is going to go down, but first I'm going to adhere that to the paper so I can see where I want my design. So I want to move this over so that it all fits on and make sure that it's fairly centered. I've got a little bit at the bottom and a little bit at the top that's not going to be on the page, but the rest of it's within the, might move that over just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to go ahead and tape that down because I want to make sure that it stays. I'm trying to do this in camera, but I think I'm going to go off camera and tape it. Okay, so there we go. I've taped it down. So I'm going to put it face down with the stencil first and the paper on top. And then I'm going to use my rubber mat here. This is from Cricut, but all of the die cutting machines come, usually the makers of them make those. So I'm going to put 2 B plates on top of that, and then I'm going to run it through. And it depends on your machine. You might need another shim to go in there, but I like to run it back through again too. Sorry for all the shaking and the noise. I'm going to go one more time because I want to make sure that it gets a good emboss. Okay, so that's the way to emboss with stencils. Take that off. I don't know if you can already see or not, but you can see that that's been embossed in the... Now I'm not going to remove it yet because I want to color it, and if I take it off, then it'll be difficult to color just those areas that are raised. So if I do this, then only color will stick to the raised part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some fall autumn colors of Distress ink. I've got to choose which ones I want. I know I'm going to want some Rusty Hinge, some Wild Honey, maybe some, I'm not sure if I'm going to use Scattered Straw. We'll have to see, because I want to make sure I'm using those beautiful earth tones for fall. Definitely Barn Door. And perhaps, I don't know if I want Frayed Burlap. Yeah, I definitely think that. Maybe some Aged Mahogany. Oh, I think I want some Mustard Seed. That's perhaps, maybe. We shall see. Maybe some Spiced Marmalade. So I've got red and orange and brown. So I'm going to use my Distress ink daubers here. Got my little cheat sheet to tell me which they are. So I'm going to go in with my lightest color first, which would be probably the Scattered Straw. So let me get all of my... There's Scattered Straw, and I need Mustard Seed. There's Mustard Seed. Okay, so those are the colors that I'm going to use. So like I said, I want to start with the lightest colors first. I'm going to do some yellows, and I think I'm just going to like pounce through like that. And I think I need to rub some to get that color to come through darker. And I'm just going to go through kind of, not all the way, because I want it to have a different, like a pattern of like the leaves that change color. So they have different colors throughout. Well, let's go to my Mustard Seed. It looks pretty much the same, doesn't it? Maybe a little bit darker. Okay, we're done with that. Now let's try some Wild Honey. It looks pretty much the same too. Let's do some spiced marmalade. I think I might go over this with some spiced marmalade. There we go. That's very pretty. So I would choose one of these. Like I would do either mustard seed, scattered straw, or wild honey. You don't need to do all three. And then definitely spiced marmalade. And then let's see some rusty hinge. Now let's try some, I definitely think I want some squeezed lemonade because I need some brighter, maybe I don't. Let's do some frayed burlap now. And then let's come in with some barn door. Let's get some really, really, really red. We definitely need that bright red. And you know, it is okay to go over some like that so you don't have exactly the same color throughout all of it. That's kind of cool, I think. Okay, so I'm kind of overlaying some of them so they'll have two tones in the little space. Okay, so I definitely want to look for my squeezed lemonade. Yes, my squeezed lemonade is in a little cube instead of a big one. So this one's a little bit brighter because I used the squeezed lemonade than the original card that I made, but that's okay. Let me show you the difference between the original card I made. So you can see there, I don't think I used as much of the reds, the barn door, on this one as I did on this one. And that aged mahogany is a really pretty dark color. I think I'm going to come back in with some of that. I don't know if I used it at all, actually. Let's try it right here. Yeah. That's the, I think I used the aged mahogany a lot more in the previous one. Where do I want to put this? Let's put it right here. And perhaps right here. There we go. Now you won't get to see the actual true effect until we remove the stencil. Let's go ahead and do that. I want to make sure my hands are clean though, so let me get a wipe, because I do not want to smear it on the other parts of the card. So I'm just going to use a baby wipe to try to get off any excess ink that's on my fingers. These baby wipes sure do not hold together well. Alrighty, I think that's good. Let's remove the tape. Oh goodness, come on tape. So you have to be careful because since the tape ran through the machine, it does have a tendency to want to pull up the paper. But if you just go gently, you should have a fairly easy time of it. A nice even tug should do that for you. All right, there's my beautiful card. I actually kind of like the brightness of this one more so than the other one. Okay, so that's the way you make the base, and then you're going to want to trim off a little bit. So you can see in my original card, I have a border here, and all I did was use one of the sponge daubers to go around the base of the card before I adhered the front panel to it. What's cool about this paper cutter is, I don't know if you can see that wire right there, that shows you exactly where you're going to cut. So I'm just going to cut off a little few of the tips of each one. There we go. And then when we place it on our card base, so here's my card base, and this is 4.5 by 4.25 by 5.5. So you can see it's going to go all the way to the edges, but it's going to leave a border at the top. So what you'll do is you'll just take, this is a piece of 3M tape, comes in a roll that looks like this. It's just the Post-it tape. I don't know if you can see the Post-it right there. And then you'll take your color, and I would choose one of the darker colors actually, which you can see I've done here. That fits well with this color scheme behind it. So what I'm going to do is I think I will use let's check out Spice Marmalade. Let's see what we get with Spice Marmalade. It's a little bit brighter. I think that'll work better for this card. There we go. And I'm actually going to put, and now I'll just come off the edge here. Alrighty. So that is what that's going to look like. It's definitely a little brighter than the other one, if you can tell. I'll get the other one to compare. So yeah, this has more of a brown tone because I used the rusty hinge, and the Spice Marmalade has more of a red tone to it.